Do you believe that you can heal yourself? Too often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in our amazing universe. And yes, we are in interesting times. Oh, I have to chuckle about that because things are going, at warp speed and craziness. But anyway, welcome to another episode on the Dr. Dolores Show, and we're going to be talking about whispers to wisdom, interpreting your body's messages. So many of us are empaths, intuitives, and highly sensitive people. And what that means is like we feel things a lot more than the average person. And a lot of times our emotions show up in our physical body as aches and pains or really kind of peculiar feelings or sensations. And sometimes they have a tendency to mimic things that anybody would want to rush to the emergency room to figure out, am I dying or what? So what I hope to bring across today is about really tapping into those somatic experiences that we're having, because what I know, and a lot of people know too, is that when you have a somatic thing going on in your body, that means like a pain, there's usually something more going on. And that could be like the tip of the iceberg of like a stressor, or it could show up as anxiety. When people have anxiety, sometimes they develop pain, somatic pains in their bodies. And I feel that all these things are really interconnected together. It's not a linear thing where things are placed in boxes by themselves. I think in, and I know in the Western medicine world, we have a tendency to put systems in boxes. Example, like you have orthopedics, it's just bones, but orthopedics is more than just bones. It's actually ligaments, tendons, muscles, and also, maybe your pathophysiology. But yet, Western medicine has a tendency to label things in different boxes. Like we said, orthopedics, and then the vascular doctors, and then the neurosurgeons, and the general surgeons, and the GYN and the urology doctors. These are all different boxes. But what we tend to forget sometimes is that everything is connected to each other. And this just goes a step further, that everything is energy. Okay. When you look at me through this camera, you're seeing myself and my office. And I'm a denser version of energy along with everything else that's in my office space. So when we look at our physical bodies, that's a dense version of energy. Now, how it's related to each other and interconnected is a less denser version of energy. So our thoughts are energy. They're like radio and waves, radio waves. Our beliefs are also radio waves. That's energy. Our emotions, whether or not we experience them, that's energy as well. And sometimes when we don't experience them, the energy gets trapped. So when the trapped energy of unexperienced beliefs or emotions or thoughts, or even our connectedness to ourself and our inner wisdom and higher self. These are all demonstrations of frequency and energy at a level that we cannot obviously see it, okay? Because it's not a denser verb, a demonstration of it, but it's there. So when we have like a somatic ache, like say for an example, you're having a bellyache and you know that you haven't changed your diet at all, or you're feeling like maybe, you're uh, having food poisoning or whatever. It's just sit with what's going on. And I'm just going to invite you to maybe have a dialogue with what's happening. I think our first reaction to whenever we feel something in our body is to just like push it away and make it go away and keep it at bay and not really, it's like to fix it. It's like you're reacting to something out of fear versus out of observation. So when these subtle things start happening to you, I invite you to sit with it and just breathe into it and just feel what it feels like and what is going on, and maybe have a dialogue with whatever that ache is, because it could be a plethora of wisdom and knowledge that your body is trying to give to you. I feel that we are often disconnected from that aspect of who we are, yet it's a treasure trove of necessity that's going to allow you to do what is right for you and to also be in the present moment right here, right now. It's that simple. It's really not that difficult to understand. It's not that complex. I think we as human beings try to make things way more complex than things are. And I feel like we're going into a time where we're getting to experience the possibility of more simplification. And I know that seems counter to what we are experiencing around us. Let's face it, we are in a chaotic, you know, I'm going to say whirlwind, tornado. There's a lot of chaos going on outside of our physical bodies in our world right now. And, maybe we have contributed to that too, based on what we feel and think. Yet in collective consciousness, there's a lot of chaos happening right now. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of trying to control, trying to make sense out of things. And news flashes, there's nothing to make sense out of anything because it's not going to make any sense. The news flash is that we need to come within ourselves and to simplify things enough so you're with yourself and you could ask these questions of your physical body, because your mind and your body, believe it or not, are not disconnected. They are connected. We choose sometimes to not listen and we disconnect ourselves. Nobody else does that. We do the disconnecting. So it's really about us learning how to reconnect with ourselves so that when you have these twitches or aches and pains, you don't go into panic mode and react and just go to your urgent care to get the pill, the procedure, or whatever to fix that pain. It's a call for a deeper understanding of why that pain is there. And sometimes it is more than just a physical response. There's the underlying current of your thoughts, your beliefs, or maybe these thoughts and beliefs are no longer in alignment with who you are at a soul level, and they're acting up. It's like they're coming from unconsciousness to consciousness. When they're unconscious, we are unaware of them, and they have a tendency to, I'm going to say, run our show. It's like they are there to remind us that, okay, pay attention, we need some TLC, or we need to reconnect with ourselves to figure out what's going on. I feel the important thing is listening to our bodies, because many of us maybe don't know how to do that, or know how to do that but ignore it, or sometimes we just give that aspect of ourselves, that power, out to somebody else outside of ourselves, instead of you obtaining that wisdom and knowledge and utilizing it for yourself. I joke with a lot of people because people say, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and, you should consider doing, getting this thing or checking out this diet. No, it's about, you've lived in your Taj Mahal, your body, your whole entire life. Yet you're going to give the power of taking control and taking your next steps to something outside of yourself, or some influence or some protocol or some procedure. I invite you to probably look at that from a different perspective. A lot of times we don't think that maybe we're worthy of taking care of ourselves, or we don't want that responsibility, or it's just like we're too much. This is where we have fragments and we just disassociate from ourselves. So it's really time for us to come full circle and come back to self. Check in with yourself. If you're feeling like, I'm exhausted, and instead of pushing the envelope and just saying, well, I need to do this and I need to do that, who made that rule up? Just sit with yourself and, rest. We are in so much chaos right now that a lot of times it's going to be easier to rest than to be in motion. When you rest, you're able to rejuvenate your body, to maybe even catch your breath. Okay, when you're resting, know that everything will get done when it's supposed to be done. Too often we put a time frame on things, that I need to get X, Y, and Z done by tomorrow. Yes, and what if you did things differently and maybe took that rest period and just did some mindful activity and just sit with yourself and maybe even take a nap? That list will take care of itself, believe it or not. I know for me personally, if I'm on overwhelm, the best thing I could do is put myself on a timeout. Yes, I do that. And I will sit someplace and, just be quiet. Or I might do some coloring, or I might do a puzzle. It's to take me out of what's going on, because I find that I tend to get in my own way sometimes. And for me to go into a mindful activity, this allows me to go to ground zero within myself. And then after I'm complete with that, I look at the list and I actually get more accomplished in a shorter period of time than if I tried to make something happen, and what I call pushing the boulder up the hill. So how is this all related to like somatic type of things and listening to your whispers to wisdom in your body's messaging? Is that you're learning to trust the information that you're getting from your body, because your body isn't separate from you. We call it the body, mind, and soul. We're all in it together. And when you're able to embrace life and look at it from that perspective, you'll have so much more ease and grace, and you're going to be in the flow of your life instead of trying to make something happen. And the analogy of uh, having the emergency brake on when you're trying to drive. Sometimes that happens when we're trying to control things too much. We are in such a state of control versus non-control right now, and there's such a dichotomy. So we're getting ready to go on our first break, and you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're talking today about whispers to wisdom, interpreting your body's message. So when we come back, we'll talk more about this and get some gold nuggets that you could carry on in your life.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And today on our show, we're talking about whispers to wisdom, interpreting your body's messages. And before the break, we were talking about the whole idea of somatic responses and how they are so important because they are the indicators within our body that are letting us know that something's up and that we need to pay attention. And, we talk about the interconnectedness of the body, mind, and soul. And that is so essential because we are more than what we physically can see, right? We're an energetic being, we're just a denser form. Yet our mind and our soul are not as dense, but they're all part of us. And in the Western medicine world, we talked a little bit about how Western medicine has a tendency to put things in boxes and keep them separate, but when in essence everything is interconnected. And the good news is that as we progress further in the journey of Western medicine, more and more that is starting to become on the forefront, and the realization that everything is interconnected. So when we start having symptoms in our body, or what I call somatic responses, sometimes it's the tip of the iceberg of something deeper going on. Sometimes it's related to chronic stress or fatigue or anything that's going on, that something, it's letting you know that something's out of kilter, and then you need to pay attention. It's like, pay attention, I'm talking to you. But our natural tendency is not to pay attention to that and to do everything we can to make it go away. Does that sound familiar? I know for many of us it is. If something's painful, we just want to put it away and take care of it ASAP. And a lot of times we're reacting out of fear instead of just sitting with that and being more contemplative. So I invite you, when things come up for you, instead of reacting and going down the rabbit hole of fear and something really bad is happening, I invite you to just sit with that, take a deep breath, and just feel what's going on. And maybe ask your body, what are you trying to tell me? That's simple. And just listen in your mind. The first thing that comes usually is the correct thing. Or what, ask your body what you need from me right now. And the first response, maybe it's like, I need to eat something, then go and eat something. Your body will tell you what it needs as long as you listen to it and have a conversation and a relationship with it. I think too many of us are so disconnected, or I'm going to say disassociated from our physical body, that we're a talking head and we're not integrated into our physical body. That's kind of funny because, talking heads, I'm thinking about the group from like 40 years ago. Anyway, um, you could just see these heads going blah, 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 and there's a total disconnect. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, so what is really important, I think, is to, when you tap into what's happening, you gain more perspective. And it may be something simple that you're not paying attention to yourself, or maybe you need to drink more water, or maybe you need to rest more, or maybe you need to eat better. Your body will tell you. And it's not like it's trying to work against you, it's working for you and saying, hey, pay attention. I need your help. I need your assistance. Many people have a tendency that when things are not going well, or they have a lot of pain, or they think on the opposite, that, oh, if I ignore it, it'll go away. And sometimes the pain gets worse and worse, and you still ignore it. And then you end up in the hospital, because if you were in communication with your body, you would know if something was off. And then I see the counter, the ends of the continuum on that, especially being in the healthcare industry, is like people who have had, these messages in their body saying, I'm not well, but they choose to ignore it and blow it off instead of really saying, okay, what is it you need? Maybe by all means, you need to go to the emergency room. You will know, and it won't be out of fear. It'll be that you know that this is what you need to do. I feel that so many of us are operating from fear, that our natural tendency is to react and overreact. There's a fine line and a balance. If something feels off to you and you can't really put your finger on it, I invite you, yes, for all means, go and get it checked out by a physician or a healthcare practitioner. Sometimes those things are not. And I'm going to just circle back to this, because I think this is an important thing too that people should be aware of. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the times, we are evolving, okay? We are evolving and we are growing. That means it's more of an energetic thing. We get these energetic up levelings or downloads, and we could also label this as ascension. We're going through ascension and ascension process. So what happens for many physical bodies is that as we are evolving and raising our frequency and ascending into a higher frequency, our body change in density. We become more crystalline than solid mass. So with that, there's a lot of changes that go on. When we are getting an energetic download, sometimes it's like the equivalent of a computer getting an upgraded program. When the computer gets upgraded, okay, sometimes we need to close the computer and reboot it to restart it in order to integrate that new program. When we are ascending, we're getting energetic downloads into our body. Yes, sometimes they mimic things such as, oh my God, I'm having really bad chest pain, or I'm having really bad gut pain, or my leg is killing me. It's like these are energetic downloads that we are getting, that sometimes if we are able to sit and rest, maybe drink some more water, that these two will reintegrate into ourselves. It's like our bodies are obtaining a higher frequency. So, and in order for us to reboot our computer, sometimes we need to take a timeout, go lie down, take a nap, and you feel like a completely different person when you awaken from that nap. So it's like reintegrating or integrating the energy downloads that you're receiving. This might be a stretch for some people. I understand that. And I know this is true because this has been my life for the last several decades. I have been very tuned into energy, and I could feel things happening on an energetic level that, yes, it was like getting a download of information. And sometimes it creates so much fatigue that the only thing that you could do is like force yourself to go to bed. And it's like trying to put a toddler to bed. As an adult, it's like, no, you're in resistance to going to bed. It's like sometimes you're beyond functioning and you're like, it's like nothing's making sense. So you just need to go put yourself to bed, and you sleep, and maybe you sleep for a few hours or a lot of hours, and you wake up and you're a completely different person because whatever was going on, it got reintegrated into your system and you're able to function. So know that, number one, you're not going crazy. If this happens to you, this is probably what is going on. So with these whispers to wisdom and interpreting your body's messages, sometimes it's just an ascension process thing where you're just getting upgraded to the next level of where you need to go in our physical bodies. And yes, our physical bodies are changing. We're in very interesting times in humanity's evolution, and things are happening in multiple dimensions. And if you don't think that's true, well, hopefully the universe will give you a demonstration that helps you understand a little better that this is true. So just allow yourself to be in this moment and know that you're not going crazy, and you're not sick, or you're not dying, and you are just evolving. And it's really about tapping into that inner wisdom that we all have, where you're able to really tune into what is right for you, your next steps. So when we are able to step into this aspect of ourselves, this is where we have more control and more certainty of our lives. You're able to know what is the right steps for you, how you need to be able to move forward on your path, and to do it in your sovereign power and your truth. It's almost as if you have to pretend that, and I don't like to pretend or ignore. It's like, yes, you have to have the awareness of what's going on around you, yet it no longer affects you because you have that certainty within yourself, and you know yourself so well that around you doesn't matter, and you're not going to be thrown off your inner balance. And if you are, you're able to grasp yourself and bring yourself back to that inner 0 point, or call it 0 point or neutral point within yourself. So just take a deep breath because we're getting ready to go on our next break. And you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And when we come back, we're going to do a guided meditation that's going to allow you to connect with your body and to check out why maybe you're having if you're having a stressful thing, to get more insight onto that. Does that sound like a good idea? You betcha. Talk to you when we get back.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking about whispers to wisdom today, interpreting your body's messages. And on the other two segments, we talked about how interconnected our body, mind, and soul are, and we're not separate. You know, just because you can't see something doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, because we are energetic beings, and our thoughts, our beliefs, our connectedness, and our emotions and ancestral lineage and dimensional stuff is all radio waves, and it's energy, and it's interconnected. So as I promised, we're going to do a body connection meditation. I like doing meditations on my show, and I usually do them in the third segment, because I feel it helps to take what we've kind of learned and talked about and put it into an experience so that you can have a taste of what that's like, and to, inspire you to possibly want to divulge and even go further, deeper within your practice of assisting yourself. So let's get started with that. So I'm just going to invite you to find a comfortable position and to either sit or lie down wherever you feel supported. When you're ready, you could close your eyes or gently soften your gaze if that feels more comfortable. And now we're just going to focus on our breathing. So I invite you to take a few deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And with each exhale, release any tension you might be holding in your body. Feel the natural rise of and fall of your chest or abdomen as you breathe. And just notice the coolness of the air entering your nostrils and the warmth leaving your mouth with each exhale. There's nothing to do. Just allow your breath, your inhale and exhale patterns to just naturally occur and just simply observe it. There's nothing more to do. So start at the top of your head and just bring attention to your body and what you're feeling. And so when you start at the top of your head, just allow yourself to feel any tension on your scalp or face and gently soften your jaw and brow. And move your awareness down your neck and shoulders. Just notice, are they relaxed or tense? And whatever they are, just allow them to soften with each exhale that you make. Slowly continue to scan your body and slowly continue your awareness down your body and notice any sensations in your arms, your hands, your chest, and back. Are there any areas holding tightness or discomfort? Just acknowledge them without judgment and just allow them to be there. And if something feels uncomfortable, just imagine sending a wave of relaxation to that area. Sometimes some pink light and unconditional love and self-compassion are great things to send to those areas as well. Next, move your awareness to your belly. Feel the rise and fall of each breath and notice any emotions or sensations that might arise. Just simply observe them without judgment. Next, travel down to your legs and feet and notice any sensations in your legs and feet. Are they tense or relaxed? Imagine wiggling your toes and sending a signal of relaxation down to your extremities. Now imagine your entire body surrounded by a soft, warm light, like a blanket. It's warm and cozy, and this light represents self-love and acceptance. And feel it fill every part of your body from head to toe. Allow that self-acceptance, self-compassion, and self-love just to permeate through every aspect of who you are on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. Feel the yumminess and the comfort. And know that you could keep this blanket with you indefinitely. It's yours. And just ask your body right now, is there something it needs to share with you? And just allow yourself to receive the information that it shares without judging or criticizing it or analyzing it. Usually, the first thing you sense or feel is the response. And just thank your body for sharing its wisdom with you. And know that you could return to this blanket of comfort at any time. So now just take a few more deep breaths, feeling your body grounded and present, and wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, please slowly open your eyes and refocus your gaze. I invite you to carry this awareness with you as you move on your day. And take a moment every now and then to check in with your body. Notice how it feels and see if you can respond to its needs with kindness and compassion. Well, welcome back, everybody. How was that? It's so quiet right now. And that's okay. Sometimes being quiet is a very good thing. It allows you to be more present and allow yourself to hear those whispers that are within yourself. Some things to remember are this: your body will always tell you what's going on if you choose to listen to it. Number two, you're not going crazy. And this is part of having an intimate relationship with yourself. And just know that the more you're able to connect with yourself, your physical body, it brings everything else into alignment. The mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. All of it comes into alignment, for they all work together and they rely on each other. When we try to control one thing like our mind and control our body and ignore the signs that we give it, we do it a huge disservice. So listen to your body, listen to those whispers of wisdom. When you have a relationship with yourself, inclusive of your spirit, your physical body, you're going to find lots of wisdom there that's going to allow you to make the right choices for yourself, guide you on your path, and also allow you to make the right choices for you. Not your spouse, not your kids, not your neighbor, not, society, but for you. And this is what it's really important, because you're a sovereign being, and you have this right to tap into that innate wisdom that is who you are. We're in a time in our personal ascension and history where we are learning to take our power back on more levels than you know. And it all starts with us first. So continue to move forward, love yourself, listen to yourself, and trust yourself. And we're going to be going on to a next break right now. And you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And when we return, we'll just wrap it all up. See you when we come back.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You've been listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network. And today's episode has been dedicated to those whispers to wisdom, interpreting your body's messages. And when we are able to tap into ourselves, we're able to listen to those messages and really gain some gold nuggets. And I really want to share, I'm really excited to share this. My colleague and myself, Cozy Stankaitis, and myself, we are putting together a monthly membership program called I'm Awake, Now What? Because both of us have decided that there's so many people that have awakened. They have been, I call it like they've been ascending into their spiritual journey. And what had been working for you prior to life had been working fine, and all of a sudden it's not working for you. It's almost as if the rug got pulled out from underneath you. Maybe you've lost your job, changing relationships, whatever's going on, but there's a lot of change and a lot of uncertainty. And this platform is a monthly platform that meets the second Tuesday of each month, and it's for an hour, and we're on Zoom, and it offers insight, support, tools, and community. There's a community that's attached with this, and it's called I'm Awake, Now What? And if it sounds like you're needing some support, tools, or guidance, I invite you to come, because I believe that you'll be learning something new and maybe actually uncovering some insights that you already knew were true, but you needed to have them validated. So join us. You could register at my website, I'm dash awake dash now dash what. So join us. I think you'll really be pleasantly surprised at the support that you're going to be able to gain, the insight, tools, and clarity. So wrapping up from today's episode on the Dr. Dolores Show, I want to talk about some takeaways from Whispers to Wisdom, because I feel that they're really important, and I really feel that they need to be driven home. Your body whispers wisdom. Pay attention to discomfort, aches, cravings, fatigue, and other signals. These can be clues about your physical and emotional needs. Not only physical and emotional, mental and spiritual needs as well. Listen to the basics. Maybe you're thirsty, so drink, or you're hungry, eat, or you're having pain. just look at the essentials and just sit with what's going on and observe. Don't go into react. Just observe. It's not about trying to make it go away quickly and to make it nice and pretty and put it on a shelf. It's about integrating and just having a dialogue with yourself so you know yourself well enough. You know if something is really off or you really need more TLC, or maybe you even need to go to the doctor. Your body, mind are connected. Also, your body, mind, and soul are connected in ways you have no idea. So, somatic responses, which we talked a lot about, and physical reactions can be to emotions. Okay. So, somatic responses may be the tip of the iceberg of an emotional thing that is trapped in your body that needs to be addressed. And it could be something from a chronic state type of thing, or it could be something that's relatively new and acute. So pay attention to that. And we also talked about body whispers and ascension symptoms. And ascension symptoms sometimes are so vague and nebulous and they can't be nailed down. We know that sometimes, well, we know that this is what's going on. It's your body's readjusting to higher frequencies and being downloaded with a new program, and it just needs to be rebooted and recalibrated and come to homeostasis with that newer frequency. So sometimes that's all that's happening. Those symptoms, as soon as as quickly as they appeared, resolve themselves rather quickly as well. Okay. And become a body detective. When your body gets your attention, gather the clues and the information. Um, the clues about what kind of a message is it is, and look at the intensity, location, and nature of the context, and just ask it questions and wait for its responses. And this helps you understand what your body needs. Maybe it just needs a drink of water, or maybe it needs some food, or maybe it needs to go out in the sun. Maybe it just needs to sit and do nothing. Just honor that without feeling guilty, like you should be doing something or whatever. If that comes up, you need to look deeper as to why that is so. Okay. So with that all in mind, I just want to leave you a quote so you could be a little more inspired. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. And that's by Rumi. When you're able to quiet yourself down, especially when you have these body aches or what I call body whispers, and you listen to what, you become quiet and you're able to listen, you're able to hear what your body's saying. So just know that you are more capable than you realize. And being in touch with your body is more of a superpower than ever, because you're going to rely on that innate wisdom that is yours and your sovereign right. So you could continue to move through your life with a lot more ease and grace and on your terms. Okay. Your sovereign right to step into your power. So next week, we're going to be talking about the symphony of well-being. And for those of us who've been in orchestra or band, we know that well-being, there's many parts to that. And so when all the parts come together, we have this beautiful symphony and everything kind of falls into place deliciously and magically. So stay tuned next week for that. And just know you are loved and appreciated more than you could imagine. And just be kind to yourself, especially during these very interesting times that we all are experiencing on our human journey. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific. on inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.